Well, is the US and Iran finally ready to have the second round of talks in Islamabad as it was supposed to happen at the end of the ceasefire? It appears for now, because there has been a lot of back and forth, and President Trump seems to have dropped another hint that the talks could take place very soon in Islamabad. Now, while speaking to the US media there, President Trump says that the talks may be coming as soon as Friday, being the latest. Now, President Trump says that the talks could begin in the next 36 to 72 hours. And if that is true, then we will witness another big breakthrough in the Middle East or in West Asia soon. Well, that seems to be the very factor that the world has been waiting very closely and has been monitoring what's happening as far as a lot of back and forth in the ceasefire extension, which has already been announced by President Trump. So according to his latest statement, what exactly did he say? He now says that he is ready to give at least 3 to 5 more days for the ceasefire. Earlier, there was no deadline that he had announced when the ceasefire end till the time a unified proposal is submitted by Iran to the Trump administration. He now says that he is ready to give more time to allow the Iranians to regroup, and he says it is not going to be open and unlimited ceasefire, because as far as the US naval blockade in the Strait of Hormuz is concerned, that will continue till the time a ceasefire or a deal is reached with Iran. So that seems to be the very conditions that President Trump seems to be laying ahead of the possible second round of talks in Islamabad. But let's talk about exactly what seems to be going on in his mind. Because this time, President Trump seems to be in no rush to secure the Iran deal. And as being quoted on US media reports, President of the United States has been claiming that there is no time pressure on talks. However, you know, when it comes to the 3 to 5 day window, however, he comes to say to that there is no need for holding the talks very soon, because he's also been denying that there is any midterm pressure that seems to be driving the Iran policy. But President Trump, however, wants a good deal for America. So this seems to be the very factor, that President Trump seems to be now talking about as far as the Iran deal is concerned, is that possibly why he did not set a deadline, because he, however, has said and maintained that till that time there is no deal or a unified proposal is set up or given by the Iranian side or the Iranian government, till the time the Strait of Hormuz will continue to be blocked by the US Navy. So this seems to be the certain conditions there. Meanwhile, on part of Pakistan, which has been desperate to hold the second round of talks, it was being said that as soon as the first ceasefire comes to an end, the delegation led by Vice President J.D. Vance will be leaving for Islamabad. And of course, when it comes to a delegation from the Iranian side, they have been denying holding any second round of talks, but both the sides have been in a wait and watch situation. So again, Mayank, good morning. Help us understand, because what's going on in the mind of President Trump now? Suddenly he seems to be in no rush to secure the Iran deal.
No, it is significant for every side actually. So what you see, but in the sense that it should accrue the benefits which are desired. Not that it cannot happen that once deal has been announced and it lands every side into an issue. So what you see is actually the entire bargaining is happening in such a way that middle ground is found. Otherwise, let's say, for example, the most important part right now is nuclear aspect, and that is that too enrichment specifically. So what we had been trying to find out, and we had been analyzing, that the trend had been that even after denying so many times, these sides have been talking, they had been presenting their positions, and even after denying that there was no talk, they spoke. After that, they came down specifically for nuclear aspect, and now they are talking about the enrichment percentage. So this is the way that talks are moving ahead. And this again, this round of talk which has been postponed is actually what we can analyze is in that direction only, that now things will boil down to a level where agreement will take place. That is the kind of trend it is. So the other point, there is definitely a sort of a pressure even after denying that aspect. Yeah. Why am I saying it is actually there are certain laws and there are certain regulations even for the president of US, which says that not beyond 60 days, a military operation which is outside can be financed or it can be continued. So the other point is
about to come. As far as on the 28th of February is when, the joint strikes were launched on part of US and Israel on Tehran. But how However, when it comes to reaching out to a deal, when is that going to be a possibility? Because, however, there has been no deadline that has now been announced that till the date this is going to be the ceasefire that it is going to last. Because there is a ceasefire, but with military and kinetic strikes. And this is now coming in from the White House as going on to say that Operation Epic Fury, yes, those are about the military strikes, but now it has turned into Operation Economic Fury. And what US is doing is strangling Iran's economy through the blockade.
Here we are. As you all saw yesterday, President Trump announced an extension of the ceasefire. He's maintaining and generously offering a bit of flexibility to a regime who has been completely tarnished because of Operation Epic Fury. There's obviously a lot of internal division. This is a battle between the pragmatists and the hardliners in Iran right now, and the president wants a unified response. And so as we await that response, there's a ceasefire with the military and kinetic strikes, but Operation Economic Fury continues, and the effective and successful naval blockade continues as well of ships and vessels that are moving to and from Iranian ports. We are completely strangling their economy through this blockade. They're losing $500 million a day. The Karg Island is completely full. They can't move oil in and out. They can't even pay their own people as a result of this economic leverage that President Trump has inflicted over them. So he's satisfied with that as we await their response, and we will see. The president has not set a firm deadline to receive an Iranian proposal, unlike some of the reporting I've seen today. Ultimately, the timeline will be dictated by the commander-in-chief and the president.
So clearly putting the ball in Iran's court to submit a unified proposal is something which what President Trump seems to be waiting for. However, Iran has clearly rejected Operation Economic Fury on part of the United States. And however, they have been saying that as far as this economic stranglehold is concerned, well, President Trump however says that this blockade is scaring Iran more than bombing the Strait of Hormuz, and tensions that has been simmering because yet again the IRGC seems to be acting on its own as far as the seizure of 2 vessels are also concerned. And now what is being said that the ships that have been targeted were not American, and President Trump has added to say that US is also closely monitoring the situation. Well, that seems to be another point of contention there as far as the Strait of Hormuz is concerned. Already a blockade that has been enforced by Iran, and thereafter there is a double blockade. The economic blockade which President Trump calls is that of the US Navy that has been enforced. Let's connect with Purnima Nath on this. Purnima, good evening. You're based in the United States, so help us understand exactly when it comes to President Trump, because he seems to be contradicting his statements in the past as well. Now what's going on in his mind? There is no deadline for this ending of ceasefire, but he seems to be now in no rush.
Thank you so much for having me. Namaste, Jai Hind. First of all, you asked me about what's going on in his mind. I don't think anybody can figure out what is actually happening. But one thing is very, very clear. President Trump wants to establish his legacy for 250th years for this country, and for that he is willing to go to any length. At the same time, when our country is hurting for gas, groceries, energy prices, healthcare cost prices, as well as insurance and etc., unfortunately we are seeing that President Trump doesn't really care for people, and his statements can constantly changes, and he wants to take advantage of the situation that we actually put him over there. He thinks that he's not just president of America. He thinks he's a king of America. He's also emperor of the world. At this point of time, there is no way he's actually going to give credit to anybody for a ceasefire. Now, if you remember, Iran has rejected his so-called peace talk directly and decisively, and he is not going to be able to accept it. And MAGA base over here is the only base who's actually aligned with him right now. But within the Republican Party today, there's a massive shift and also a break. We are able to see it because most of the influencers also started to talk about this is not working, and he seemed to be not in the right mind of political decisions as well. Politically, he's hurting. Our party is hurting. Yesterday, there was a redistricting in Virginia.
Yes,
literally is going to give
yourself
more...
being a supporter there, Purnima ji, I was surprised as far as your point of view here is concerned, but there has been a very definite shift that has come in, and it seems to be a realization that has hit now President Trump on the unpopularity, rather, when it comes to this war and the extension of this conflict. But appreciate you for joining us here on the broadcast and for your time on Times Now. Thank you very much, ma'am. Now, in the meantime, as far as the war front is concerned, we'll shift focus back on elections, because now what we are looking at,